You're an animal.
Anyways.
We are officially for the third time ready to go.
Yes.
I'm in Florida with Tommy Allen, Orlando, Florida. Typically, I reside in Seattle, but today I've come to see my brother for the special occasion of releasing this this lyric video that we've all worked really hard on together. And I produced it, directed it, cut it, and then we all put our heads together on how to get it all pieced together and put together. And tonight is the night. So very exciting.
Yeah, so Chris actually stopped off in Seattle to see Nate a couple days ago San Francisco, from Seattle to San Francisco on his way to Orlando. So we're rarely in the room all together, but now at least we kind of did the trifecta. We're here to start releasing the first of many that are already prepped and on deck on a lot of stuff that we've been working on over the last year.
Yeah. Busy. So
I'm killing that camera, by the way. Killing that camera, by the way, because if you want it, got to be not in portrait.
Oh, I got you.
That's all good. He's gone.
He's gone. That's fine.
If you saw the Christopher Phillips rig that we have over here for that to be there,
I made it go.
Yeah.
It's not
something we're gonna be able to keep going. Just shut it down, man. Start from scratch. Just a brief overview. We were kind of wanting to kind of just take a few moments to discuss like past, present, and future of what we are, what we're going to be doing, and kind of go from there, because we kind of have a lot of different things that have been going on and that we're planning to do. And Chris, why don't you kick off a little bit of the OG origin?
Kind of like we've all known each other since high school. We graduated from Dr. Phillips High School right here in Orlando, Florida, and then through the years have stuck together, gone in and out of this state, come back, and at one point between 2010 to 2012 we had gotten back together and we were all in Orlando. So we were working on, and we formed Transcribe. We had a couple iterations of what we were doing, and then we finally settled on the moniker Transcribe, and then from there said let's do a full-length album. And we developed this philosophy at the time because technology had finally reached a point where we could digitally sample and do things with the turntables that we weren't able to do back when I was doing turntable work in the Hoosier Daddy days and playing in bands and stuff like that. So technology had caught up to a certain point where we could sample anything we wanted, and that was the goal. Lie, cheat, and steal. Just steal it all.
That's exactly
didn't
what
matter.
That was.
We didn't care about clearing. Yeah, we didn't care about clearing anything. We didn't care about selling it. It was not about the money. So we wanted to create art. We had a free-flowing way that we could just create, and that's what it was about. And we were getting our teeth. Like, Nate has a professional production background. Tommy and I are just hanging on, white knuckling our way through this motherfucker. So that's kind of where
doing a good job at it.
We that was our infancy in learning. So Nate brought us together and said, this is how all this Pro Tools shit works. And then he kicked us out the door and said, don't come back till you got something. And then that's what we did, is we put our heads together. I would come home from jobs. I was always out of the country. I would come home from jobs. We would get together and just have everyday sessions. Boom, boom, boom. We were living kind of right across from each other, and it was like every day. That's how we'd start our day, is just grinding sessions. So that was kind of the history of Transcribe. We created the album Biting Bullets. It's available on Bandcamp right now. Right. I believe it's all for free, right?
It is. Yes.
Free.
Yes.
It is. Legally,
it is for free.
Yes.
It's legally for free. There's only like maybe
go check
2
out our
songs.
Bandcamp, Transcribe Music.
I think there's 2 or 3 songs on that project that we could like legally stake claim to, but the rest of them are.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
But that was essentially the plan with that project, and to not only like having it not be about money, about giving it away, about literally like recording out of a closet and just borrowing equipment and just whatever.
A wholehearted attempt of creation, like whatever we could push out of our stupid faces, you know.
So we released that, and it was a lot of fun. And then I guess I kind of was working on sort of like a side project of just stuff I was doing myself that was maybe a little outside of the realm of what Transcribe was doing. And so I released,
collaborating with other artists.
Yeah, exactly. Did we worked with a few other artists in Orlando, and I basically put out an EP under HoloTech, which was in 2012, and essentially that's when we all started firing off across, moving to different areas.
Yeah, we kind of scattered after that.
Scattered into the wind until the day came where the technology kind of allowed 3 people, 3 monsters, a 3-headed monster in 3 different parts of the country to try to come together and make music with intention this time, and in a way of completely original concepts. And really that kind of started even before getting back to Transcribe. So Nate, you could maybe just go in briefly about Twitch and Bandit Bands and what brought this all about.
Well, obviously COVID was like the catalyst for just about everything, right? It was everyone sitting at home and what are we going to do with our time? And started it off by playing video games, but very quickly we all ended up back in touch with each other and started making music, or at least remotely making music. And that initially started as just I'd have an idea, or Chris would have an idea, and we'd email it, and we'd do that back and forth a few times. And it's like such a difficult thing to make music that way, because you're not in the room with somebody. You're not gelling off their idea. Yeah, sure, you have the initial thought, and then you go and you start to elaborate on that, and then when you send it off, and you either like it or you don't like it when you hear it, but that's not exactly like collaborative music making. So I was like, there's got to be a way to simulate all of us being in a room, and that's basically what ended up happening. Chris and I started doing our Twitch Bandit Hand streams, where it's just me and Chris, and a lot of that stuff is what really, it's the progression of that allowed this to happen, right? Chris and I getting together, just jamming on something until we find something that we thought was cool. There's a few songs that ended up coming out that way, where it was just a jam, or even that once we started making music, all 3 of us as Transcribe again, the ability to take an idea, and for me and Chris to just go on a stream and mess around with it, opened a lot of creative options for us to take an idea. And that's basically where the streaming part of it came in. But we've done a very good job of being able to simulate what it's like for all 3 of us to be in that same room and create. We've done it in the past, and there's really no substitute for it, but this is about as close as it can be, and it's paid off really well. We all have our own lives, full-time jobs outside of making music. We're all doing other things, but we're all very passionate about making music. So to have the ability to literally click a button and put us all in the same place together in real time, where I can throw a sample out there and Chris can say, hey, you know what, like I have this idea of a sample, and Tommy can help us arrange a track so that it makes sense for him to write to, or whatever. All of that can happen in real time, and that's basically how all of this project was made. And we've been working hard on this project.
And the way we were procuring our samples, like you were using libraries on top of sequencing generative music, and then from there I started learning how to go into synthesizers and sequencers and stuff like that through
Yeah.
like Arturia and
There's
and
a
stuff
lot
like
of
that.
different-
And just
different-
have it in key, have it in BPM, and it fits. It's written to the actual piece, and then we pipe that into the turntables, Mimu glove effects, and just start freaking
laying in
hammers,
some live
and chisels
instrumentation
and-
added to it. And,
Yeah,
it's
we
really-
kind of threw
it's a-
everything at
it's a
this
lot.
project so far, and I think that as this project starts to be released and the songs come out, I think it's gonna take people for a ride for a little bit, and I don't think it might not make sense after you hear the second one or after you hear the third one, but as it all comes out, it is a cohesive thought. It just covers a lot of ground.